This is Kris Overstreet, the Redneck Gaijin, and as you might notice, we're going to be playing Kerbal Space Program again. The good news is we achieved orbit last time. And we had enough money to upgrade mission control so we can get a bunch of missions. The bad news is that left us nearly broke. And we currently have 25.7 science in the can, but that's all the science we're going to have until and unless we either upgrade the astronaut complex to unlock EVAs and samples, or we get another science device in research and development. Now, let's look in the modified tech tree here. Try to find more science. The Science Junior is the next one up, but that is a 45 tier item. Granted, it's worth a lot of science once we get it. I don't know where or how we're going to get more science, but more money we're going to get. Beginning with a mission to return to Kerbal from orbit, which is going to net us about 30 grand. And we can do that pretty much by just adding a parachute to the rocket we've got already that made it into orbit, I think. Okay, hauling the TD-06 decoupler into flight above Kerbal, we can probably do that just automatically. Suborbital trajectory, 80 to 90 kilometers, twitched liquid fuel engine. Let's go ahead and take that one. Test radial decoupler, landed at Kerbal. We're going to take this because, and also this, because there's a very easy way to do that. And test RT-10 Hammer solid fuel booster at the launch site. We'll also take that. There's that, but the easy way to go about doing this, all we have to do is just barely launch it, so... That's the thrust limiter, idiot. We put in the minimum fuel possible. Slap a couple of parachutes on here. Make sure we come down nice and stable on land. Ideally, right back on the launch pad. Alright, test Thud liquid fuel engine landed at Kerbal. We don't actually need any liquid fuel, we just need the engine on here. Test TD-12 decoupler landed at Kerbal. TD-12 decoupler is going to go on top here. Test radial decoupler landed at Kerbal. And that's all we can get on this flight. This, I call it a flight. Give this one to Val, because we need someone competent to do it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fire. And right back down we come. We should just come down right back on the pad where we started. There we go. And then pop the experiments. And that's that. Test Rovemax model S2 splashdown on Kerbal. Haul radial mount parachute into flight above Kerbal. Yeah, I think we can do that. Test launch stability enhancer at the launch site. Hell yes. Yeah, we can do that again. I do wish I had struts or fairings or something along those lines, but not for the Stay Put, Nick, I don't. If this works, and that's a big if because we will have no SAS on this thing, but if this works, we will have a hell of a payday. At least by the standards of this super hard mode. Alright, this big beefy bastard. Well, first we're going to get the decoupler test out of the way. And see, it hardly even dented the bunker. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wait a second. Throttle up. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Fire. Okay, we got a bunch of contracts completed again. What we haven't got is positive pitch. Gimbal is maxed out, and I'm really struggling to get the thing back vertical. There we go. Come on. Up. That's bad. Okay, got it back under control for the moment. Thing is squirrely as shit, but we got contract after contract coming in. Okay, let it tumble. We have an apoapsis that's in space. Save the fuel. We're gonna need it. Yeah, we ain't gonna make orbit with this. It's too heavy. But we got the test on that anyway. Alright. We simply do not have the Delta V to get this the rest of the way into orbit, never mind back. But the good news is, we might just get this down, is what I'm saying. The problem is, of course, that I only have control authority when we're thrusting. So we're going to drift off that marker a bit. A lot, really. Alright, here we come. Feet first. Okay, out of juice. But slow enough. We are not coming back from orbit, but we got pretty much every other contract that we had lined up. Or will have once we test these wheels. Alright. And running the test. And that absurd contract, we got it. Alright, recover that vessel, please. Okay, twitch liquid fuel engine on a suborbital trajectory. That we could probably do. We'll take this one. We'll take this other splashdown one. And test heat shield at the launch site. Cash Cow 2. We'll have to test the heat shield on the surface before we launch anything. Then we decouple and fire only the swivel. Parachute to come down. And then on empty tanks, we fire and or test the other engines and get the money back from those. No front flips for style. Sorry, Cecil. That's not going to happen deliberately. Although it has happened repeatedly undeliberately because the only probe core we've got right now is Stay Putnik. Let's get Val in this because we want this thing to land safely. Jeb, you're a crazy dude. Okay, run test on the heat shield. That's that contract complete already and we haven't even launched yet. SAS on. 3, 2, 1, fire. Okay, just get us over the water. Looks like we're going to get that easily. All right, there's your flip. But only a backflip. Forget Elon Musk. This is more like the Kris Craft era, and he's having a coronary in the bunker. SAS off. And firing the engines gets us those tests. And we are 1/10 of 1 science point away from unlocking the Science Junior. Science data from space in or around Kerbal. We can do that right now. We got a satellite in orbit that has all sorts of science on it. And by all sorts, I mean a thermometer and a barometer. But it's still science, and that's free money, and a free science point, which will let us unlock the Science Junior. Alright, and all we have to do is take, say, a barometric pressure and transmit it. Contract complete. Free money. Test hammer SRB at the launch site. We can do that. The rest of this we probably can't. We need more science in a very bad... Oh. We can't get this science yet because it has gadgets as a prerequisite. So we're going to need even more science. And God knows where I'm going to get it. Okay, so the Probidobidine QBE does not have reaction wheels, but it does have SAS. And I think, under the circumstances, that is probably our best bet. And we're also going to go ahead and get the prerequisite for the Science Junior down here, even if we're not going to use either of these anytime soon. External command seat, that would be suicidal. Do not play dead. And we have the new Probidobidine. Oh dear God. But at least this one, we can put a nose cone on. Isn't that lovely? These two fire at once. We get the contract for testing the decoupler. Then we get the main stage to get outbound. This is going to be our space probe that goes into orbit and comes back. I hope. Alright, we are flying in 3, 2, 1, go! And the ship is toppling already. It was rocking on the pad. That's not good. It's really bad. It didn't break free. What the hell? Oh. Just had a Scott Manley moment. I did not check my staging. And we managed to save a little bit of that ship, but it's a good thing that we had those extra contracts. That covered about half the cost of this failed launch. We're gonna have to do that again, but this time without the hammer. Test small hardpoint at the launch site, that we can do. World's first milestones. We've broken an ocean depth record. Yeah, I just barely retrieved that thing in time. It was sinking fast because it still had a full load of fuel on it. But hey, money and science, even if it is an accidental milestone, I'll take it. 3, 2, 1, fire. I forgot about the small hardpoint test. Alright, well, that's not going to happen. Something else, we're kind of draggy here. We're getting nothing like the acceleration we should be. Okay, we have an apoapsis just above the test zone, which is fine. We have a little bit of fuel left in this stage. I don't know that we've got enough to make orbit, though, is the problem. It's going to be a close run thing. Okay, we're dry. Now we're just waiting for us to get up into the altitude zone for the Twitch engine test. All right, come on. 260. As you can see, we are in a pretty high arc here. And it's going to take a pretty good burn to get an orbit out of this. It's very, very iffy. Okay. Test run. And this rocket and the last one are both paid for. What the hell? Okay, we got a problem. Okay, we're back under control. Ish. We have an orbit, and we have 430 meters per second to get down on. Alrighty. Get that out of the way. Go ahead and have us a look at the beautiful sights of planet Kerbal and the less than beautiful sight of our little space probe. We're coming down pretty quick already, so we want to go ahead and get a burn on retrograde. And I can't just slap on the brakes because the only way I've got to steer this thing is with engine power. So as a result, I've got to save as much fuel as possible for the way down to keep the heat shield in front of us as long as possible. We're down to 174 meters per second of delta V in the ship. And I'm having to burn up most of it now. That's it. Out of juice. Physics is now in complete control, and it looks like it's going to flip us over, or try to. Oh boy. All sorts of heat alarms. But we are slowing down to the point where they're going to go away. There we are. Good. Yeah, that was closer than I like. Our first return of an object from orbit. And here comes the ground. Kiss. We've got a little bit of science and a good chunk of money. Let's bring this thing home. 214,000. We're building up cash fast. Explore the moon. Fly by the moon and return to Kerbal. Can do. Fortunately, we actually have a craft that I think can just about do a flyby of the moon with care. Tonto 1. Because it's not a Ranger. Since you want the explanation, the first American probes to attempt to hit the moon were called Ranger. Ranger 6 was the first one to actually make an impact. The others all flew by out of control. Since we're going up to the moon, we need to be getting all the damn science. Alright, this should be less draggy in atmosphere, which means we get more delta V going up. 1821, yeah, that should be enough to get us a flyby. We gonna go to the moon, I hope. 3, 2, 1, test, and zip, fire. All right, and we're outbound. Okay, that's Apoapsis of 80 kilometers, and I really don't want it to go any higher. There we go. Excuse me. You were not staged like that. What the hell? There. Okay, that's probably as circular as we're gonna get. Unfortunately, I have no tracking, no maneuver nodes, no nothing. We're going to have to eyeball this launch. Thankfully for the moon, there is a very simple way of doing this. When you're in low orbit, the moment that the moon appears over Kerbin's horizon, that's when you fire. That's when you burn with everything you got. Actually, we ought to take a moment to appreciate Scatterer and EVE mods for giving us these nice pretty things. Alright, get on prograde. Turn, you bastard, turn. Get on prograde. And we need to fire until this thing shows about 700 meters per second left. Okay, that's the best shot I can make, eyeballing it. Let's see if it's good enough. I can't do an automatic warp, so let's run this up. And that is some kind of no. I can just tell that immediately. Find your prograde. That's not your prograde. Okay. That or nothing, I think. Yeah, we are getting energy flow, so the batteries are staying charged. And we've still got good signal strength. This might just do it. Yes! Except we've got an impactor here. That's no good. That's no good at all. Let's try burning here on the 270. Yes. Okay. That's got us a clear flyby. It's also got us slinging off into the middle of nowhere, but we've got 568 meters per second left in the can to fix that. Reset that. We can come back and get that another time. Keep that. First batch of science is complete. Now we're going to get in closer because our trajectory just happened to give us a low flyby once we made the correction to make it keep it from being an into the core of the moon flyby. There is our happy ship right there. You know, Moon, Clearasil might help with that. Just saying. Start the sciencing. Keep that for now. Oh shit, no heat shield. I thought I put the heat shield on here. It must have been on the wrong side of the decoupler. God damn it. This thing is going to burn up. There's just no way it's not going to burn. Oh, wow. That is a hell of a beauty shot, isn't it? Okay, our periapsis is absolutely shit. We're going to have to lower that manually, which means burning. Okay, let's actually look at my... Oh, I'm currently at my periapsis, or close enough. Okay. So, more time warping, because we're just wasting fuel down here. And, of course, we go high up enough that we're out of range. No signal. So, gotta wait until we come back down a little bit at least. Come on. Give me a signal. Okay, we have signal. Okay, we're gonna have to come in on a very gradual approach with no heat shield and pray. which means a lot of aerobraking passes at high altitude. There's Kerbal way the hell over there. Okay, that's actually still a little bit deeper than I'd like, but... Come on, turn, you bastard. Turn, 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 turn. Wasting fuel. Wasting so much fuel making this correction. There. That will have to do. That's actually pretty damn impressive look. Okay. Oh, the battery is the first thing to fry. Not terribly surprising. Okay, aerodynamically not stable. Can't control it. Just gotta hope for the best, I suppose. There went the battery. So whatever else happens, there will be no transmissions. Alright, pass number 2. Get this thing as lightweight as possible, make it slow down as much as possible. That's our only hope left. Alright. Sir Isaac Newton is now steering. Looks like we're coming down on the next pass. So long as we have sunlight on so long as we have the solar panels, we still have a tiny chance of surviving this thing. Because if we don't have juice in the vehicle, we can't pop the chutes, even if it survives re-entry heat. Fortunately, it's decelerating fairly quickly, so there is still a chance. Keep decelerating. Deceleration is wonderful. Be the brick you were born to be. Yeah, this bird's coming down now. Thank God for a draggy son of a bitch. We are going to splash this thing down and retrieve a bunch of science that by rights we should have lost. And we're going to cash in on the rest of the contract. We're not going to have to go back out and do it over again, at least not for that particular contract. FYI, this thing currently weighs only half a ton total. If this thing had one more parachute, it might not come down at all. Depends on how well KSP... KSP doesn't actually do winds, as far as I'm able. It does air resistance, but it doesn't do wind currents. As it is, this thing is practically a kite. Alright, here we go. And we are stable 2. Recover vessel. Science. Oh, 50.8 science. We are... I hesitate to say loaded because we got a huge expense for that, but yeah. We got all the funds. We are so golden at this point. Explore the moon. Now we've got a contract for orbiting the moon, which we're going to take. Position satellite in a specific orbit of Minmus. We're going to take that one too. Science data from space around Kerbal. Free money. Test at the launch site. Test at the launch site. Test at the launch site. Boom. That should unlock maneuver nodes. Astronaut Complex. 75,000. Oh yes. Give me the EVAs. And do we want to upgrade the launch pad yet? Yeah, that's a cheap one. R&D. First thing we do, we get the Science Junior. Boom. Done. So having looked things over, it seems to me our best bet for spending this science is going to be on enhanced survivability. Let's get that heat shield going. Again, we're working on a 30-part limit, which is kind of inconvenient. We've got several test at launch site things. Test stack separator and heat shield. We're going to put the 625 heat shield up here. Just hedge our bets. So this one, well, it's a good thing that we've got the maneuver nodes because we are going to be even tighter now on Delta V than we were before. Thing was wobbling, so I had to launch it pretty much immediately. Okay, and staging is all absolutely catawampus. Oh, how I missed reaction wheels. Got to get me some reaction wheels. Oh, hell, I forgot to test the heat shields. That was supposed to be on the launch pad, and I screwed that up. Okay, at 20 seconds, I throttled this thing to full, and we go. 2, 1, go. Burn out this stage. Okay, somehow or other, I ended up with less Delta V than I had before. Something, less Delta V because more weight. Alright, so change of plans. This is not going to the moon. We're going to have to do a flyby of Minimus with this one. If we can, if we even have enough Delta V for that. Adding the heat shields made this thing a lot heavier than it was before, unfortunately. Okay, we just dropped below the minimum Delta V for a Minimus flyby. Okay, we've got an orbit, but we haven't got enough Delta V to do anything with it. So this thing is an almost completely wasted launch. That's unfortunate, but that's the way things are. Rescue Beodard from orbit of Kerbal. Have we got... Yes, we have the EVA jetpack. So we can actually go get him. If we can get to orbit. We don't need a pilot going up, only coming down. Haul decoupler into a suborbital trajectory above Kerbal. We can fulfill that contract later, but right now we just want the free decouplers. Alright, that combo will get us to orbit and rescue, and it costs us 13,000 Kerbucks. How much are we getting paid for rescuing what's-his-face? Plenty. Enough to launch this 3 times. Okay. Run test. Just some heat shield. And we are flying in 3, 2, 1, fire. Alright. Getting ready to dump the boosters. The hell? This thing has reaction wheels. What the hell? We just lost a hell of a lot of Delta V there because of that. Aerodynamics are being not our friend because of the draggy gap up top. Okay, come on. Get us up to space. First, let's get an orbit. Okay, kill that maneuver node. Alright, we are almost, but not quite coplanar. Our periapsis is at 73. Theirs is at 77. Alright, our periapsis is roughly the same height as their apoapsis. Problem is, I'm kind of on the clock at this point because we don't have any solar panels on this thing. There's no power regeneration here. Once the batteries run out, that is all. Like so. We've got more than enough Delta V to make this happen. That's good enough. Four, three, two, and stop. Okay, that gives us an intercept of not close enough. But we can make it closer. Okay, that's close enough. We've achieved a rendezvous. And here's Bearded, who's also in a cockpit vehicle. Or she is. But she's only an engineer, so it's a good thing we had a probe core on here after all. Where is the grip for us to get into this ship? And we have someone in the rescue ship. Very good. Actually, no, we don't want her to get out yet, do we? Kill that maneuver node because I'm forgetting. EVA reports. Thank you. Highlands, keep that. Deserts, that's enough. That's good to keep. That's all we can get for right now. We got to come back down now. Well, Beardard, enjoy your ride down. It might be your last. Okay, time for me to start really paying attention to what the fuck I'm doing now. Good, we're slowing down nicely. Very nicely, yes. Beardard, you're gonna live. She's just thrilled, you can tell. Alright, let's go ahead and watch the splashdown.